What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thank you everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled The Media is Calculated. I think Torre just got in trouble for sexual harassment. And a lot of times we don't think about the media as far as the media isn't journalism anymore, like investigative reporting or getting down to the truth. There are no retractions or, even back then they used to put the story out on the front page, and if it was wrong, the retraction would be maybe months later in the inside of the newspaper. So you may not even see it. But you don't see journalists come out and people in the media say, I got that one wrong. I shouldn't have done that. That's an anomaly. I mean, does it happen? Yeah, rarely, every blue moon, and everybody just moves on to the next story. And the idea is, in my opinion, to make it look like it's the media, like we're covering current events. But truth be told, these aren't current events, because the way people are taking modern day media is really reality TV. It's reality, but it's packaged to you in a scripted way to get you to talk, to get you triggered. And it's the same rollout over and over and over again, just a different person in the lead story. And the reason I'm saying this is because of this. They had the documentary with R. Kelly. Torre was in it. Not Torre's up for sexual harassment. Now, I said this before, even with it's really not a documentary, the expose, whatever they want to call it. That didn't happen overnight. You don't get a 6-part series overnight. You've been working on that for months, maybe even a year. You get what I'm saying? So once this comes out, you don't think, whatever his sexual harassment charge is, that didn't just happen on Friday or Saturday, and when you just post it in the news or publicly, the next day, like, I just got this information and I looked through it and this is real, post. No, it was calculated. Brothers have been talking about them trying to make black men a face of Me Too for a minute. Like, it was said numerous times, they rolled out so many white guys in a row, they need to find a black equivalent. And you don't realize that, what's going on is actually calculated, because at the same time that you're going to see people talking about R. Kelly, Torre, whoever, it's going to be normally black guys. There are white guys who have worse offenses just flying under the radar every day. That's calculated. You can't say, we don't want sexual predators, let's put this one up and let's not mention this one. Or let's go, in other news, such and such just got in trouble. Moving on to this huge story. Put it up on the screen. Put some music to it. It's this guy. Like, that's calculated. And as a content creator, controversy sells, right? When you put up content, you see what people gravitate to, right? And there's analytics to it. So, the newsroom has been operating in analytics for at least a century. So they know what titles, what stories, what fonts, what headlines, what phrases normally catch the masses, because they've been doing it for so long. They're experts at it. And with these rollouts, they pretty much know how to capitalize They not pretty much know, they know how to capitalize on what they're gonna roll out, and how to capitalize on making extra money advertising, because they know if they roll out certain things, people are going to gravitate to it, and they can charge a little bit more for advertisement. So media, is calculated. And a lot of times when people are trying to point out the nuances, you think people are trying to move the goalposts, or trying to get your mind off of whatever the subject is, and they're attacking us by proxy, so I want you to look at them to get your mind off of what they're saying. No, that's not what we're talking about. What we're saying is, look at it in its totality, because what winds up happening is you don't look at it totally, so you constantly get caught up in this mix where I'm not concerned about what happened with other people, I just know about this. And it's like, okay, so guess what? When you're concerned about that and that's your focus, cool. Now when that's over with and you look back and you go, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. How did that happen? You remember when I was telling you look at the whole picture and you wasn't concerned about it? And now you want to retroactively change your view or your mindset, but the damage is done, instead of looking at it holistically. And what happens is, it's calculated because the media knows that the masses are stupid. Because you do, the minute you roll out a new sensational story or sensationalized stories, people who swear that, next time I'm gonna look at everything surrounding it, you know what they do? I'm not focused on that. I'm just talking about this. And you got people, I know people who've been doing that for decades. And they can only look at life retroactively. Like, I know people now who, that's why they say hindsight is 20/20, because you don't step back from the current situation and look at it and look at the everything surrounding it. Because if you ever been around a person who will tell you a half truth, and this is what I mean by it's calculated. When a human being tells you a half truth, they've calculated your reaction and calculated how, who you are and how far they can push it and what they could say and how it's going to trigger you and set you off. And by the time they leave and then your emotion dies down and you start thinking, then you realize you got played. But they've brought you to half of the story, they've gotten you triggered, they've gotten your emotions up, then they've gotten what they wanted out of you, and then they're gone. And you're sitting there like, I can't believe I let them, they played me from jump. Yeah, so why don't you look at the same way with the media? And this is the reason I was talking about content creators and analytics, because every content creator knows, I know what topics that I can do that can garner me more and more views and more of a following if I just stick to a particular topic or particular phrases or particular viewpoints, right? Because what people gravitate to, numbers don't lie, right? And this is why people get mad at certain people, because they feel like they're disingenuous because of the content. They don't believe that they believe in the content they create, but they believe that, they know it makes them money, so they're going to keep doing it. And it's because the media is calculated. Because when regular people can do this now, what do you think a company, a corporation, a conglomerate can do and has been doing? And even when you look at people's take of current events online, it's always sensationalized to the point where even some of the biggest YouTube channels offer you really no substance. it's lifestyle, gossip, and maybe just fun life pranks, or just being silly. Nothing like you know that you can probably take with you, or you can pass down as far as knowledgeable to your family and friends. And that's the thing, like, when you look at everything that happens in the media, and this is why I brought up the Torre thing, was because you don't think when that documentary expose, or that 6-part series was being made, they didn't look at the people on there and know, oh yeah, Torre questionable. We can use this to our advantage. Jamila Lemieux questionable, or we can use this to our advantage. Charlemagne the God questionable, we can use this to our advantage, because they all have things that they've said and done in the past that have recently come up, right? That play into the very topic that they're trying to be so adamant talking about. Remember Charlemagne was talking about Bill Cosby, then 2 girls came out all of a sudden. Jamila Lemieux was, used to be one of those people who's like, I don't need a man, I'm a feminist, I could do this all by myself, to now she's technically like a man hater. And it's like, but you started out years ago saying you didn't need men, you didn't want men, you're a staunch feminist, and now you're mad that you're a staunch feminist? And that's men's fault? And so the shenanigans right themselves is when they interject the people. Same thing with Torre. I thought Torre was gay or bisexual, so my bad, I didn't know. But he has a history of stirring the pot so far back. I think he was part of the East Coast West Coast beef. So not a guy with clean hands and a clean history. But he was part of this story with, do you like teenage kids? And now he's up for sexual harassment. Ain't that a B? The media is calculated all the way around. And then you don't even think about the companies and who owns the companies and what their involvement is with these situations and what their history is. It's funny to talk about sexual acts in companies that may be either associated with or owned by Disney. I'm just saying. So we out with this one. Peace.